well, nobody's perfect, and as a lot of the national championship speakers base their speeches on their the mistakes they've made and how they've learned from it. And if you don't make mistakes, I think you don't become a better person. You learn and then you move on. You know what not to do. I think it makes you stronger also, no regrets. Yeah, that's how I want to, because everybody's made mistakes, but I think I've learned from them, and you become, I think, a better person.
Welcome to another episode of Evolving in Toastmasters. I'm your host, Nick, and I have with me a guest today, Laurie. She's from the Fort Mama Toastmasters, a club that I joined back in 2012. She's been a member for much longer than that. And so, well, let me introduce Laurie and get her talking. Your question to start is at the time you, when we met in the Fort Monmouth Club, do you remember where you were working, or what work you were doing? We were both at Aberdeen Proving Grounds, but it's right after the BRAC. You had moved down. But what was your job, Laurie? Oh, she's over there.
Oh, good evening, Nick, and broad podcast viewers. Let's see, in 2012, I think I was working at that time for CERDEC as a maintenance engineer for what was then a PRD. I forget what PRD stands for. But anyway, so I think I was matrix to the CCOM ILSC, and I was, I guess, helping maintain some of their radar systems. So, I don't remember when you joined in our club, but it seemed like you've always been in our club to me.
Yeah, it was around 2012. So it's been a few years. It was right after the BRAC. I think it was probably September timeframe that year that I
Oh,
joined the club. I joined Susquehanna Club in April of 2012, and then I was attending both clubs because Oscar was dragging me every week, and yeah, I want to say it was September time frame, about 6 months between joining one and then signed up for the second one, most likely. Before we jump into the Toastmasters related questions, start talking about your Toastmasters career. We wanted to spice things up, keep things light, and have a little fun, while also getting to know our guests a little bit. So this kind of be like table topics without the timer. So we'll talk as little or as much as we want about each question, and we're going to start with, what's the most frequently played song on your that you listen to?
oh, let's
What's
see.
what's the song that you like to listen to the most?
Well, I'm really dating myself here. It's, I guess, a song from the 70s. It was written by Boz Scaggs, but I like the version that a Hawaiian group would sing. It's "We're All Alone." There's also a version by Rita Coolidge, but I like the version from Hawaiian duo Cecilio and Capono. That's so whenever I'm in the kitchen preparing dinner or packing lunches for breakfast, I turn on YouTube, and that song is there on my like playlist. So I always click that, and then they have other songs after, but that's always usually the one that I pick first. And I just I don't like the way Boz Scaggs sings it. Well, he's the person who wrote the song. So, but the way that the Hawaiian people, Cecilia and Capono sing it, I really like that version. And my daughter knows I like it because that song is always on every stinking day. But yeah, that I and then the Rita Coolidge version is okay too. And then I noticed there's, I don't know if people remember the 3 Degrees, these three African American ladies, they have a version too, which I just found out. So a lot of versions of that song. But they're all pretty good, but I like the Hawaiian one the best, the Sicilian Capono version.
Very nice. Yeah, it seems these days that musicians are just replaying old stuff, and
Mm.
it was kind of like that when I was growing up too. I'm into a lot of uh, punk music right now, and a lot of the rehashes of like 80s and 90s songs are really fun for me because those are songs that I listened to by the original artist, and then now I get this like fun punk version to listen to as well. So it that's always fun when you know, you got a song that you like, and then somebody else that you're also familiar with puts out the same song.
Mhm.
um, you touched on a Hawaiian band, and I know you're from Hawaii, but our listeners and viewers don't. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your background growing up in Hawaii?
Okay. Let's see. I was in the marching band in high school, and um, I like to play other instruments too. I like to play the ukulele. And when one of our founding members was sick and he came out of intensive care, I went to go play some songs for him at his girlfriend's house. And one of them was Tiny Bubbles by uh, the first Hawaiian superstar that was Don Ho. And he was huge. And my daughter's like, he's not really a great singer, but the thing that I guess got him famous was he could get up in front of a group of people and really put his heart and soul into his singing. So one of his famous songs is Tiny Bubbles. And I was watching a version of him on Lawrence Welk. And he had this bubble machine. So I bought a bubble machine that's shaped like this dolphin, I guess, and it was blowing bubbles, and I was singing Tiny Bubbles to James, and I think that kind of cheered him up. But yeah, also I was in the marching band, and during that time there was the original version of Magnum PI. So our marching band got to pretend that we were marching in a parade behind him. So we were in a an episode, and I it was really a cool experience, but we had to be quiet. I guess I don't know if anyone's ever been on a sound stage. You have to pretend you're talking or playing an instrument, and then so that they could hear the main people what they're saying. So they would dub that music and later. But we were there for I guess like 10 hours, or it was a horrendous amount of time, and we were only on for I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. They had us as extras in this carnival, but it was really cool to get to experience that part. That
That's
was that was in 1982, I think, or 81. But anyway, it was pretty cool being raised in Hawaii, but you kind of want to see more than the rock. Like you go to the beach all the time, and it's cool, but you want to experience and see other things. So that's kind of why I decided to go away for school to University of Washington in Seattle, and then I went clear across the country to Fort Monmouth, New Jersey. And I've seen a lot and I've done a lot. And yeah, I have really no regrets of moving. It's been a great ride, I guess. Yeah.
so that covers a lot of the United States. Been on East Coast, West Coast. and Hawaii. So and I guess I've never been to Hawaii, but it sounds
Oh,
like it's just a lot of the same. Um, Whereas you can get more experience on the continental US where we have the Rocky Mountains, both the coast and these giant metropolises, lots of country, farmland and stuff.
mhm.
It's uh it's amazing how much different culture that you can get in the United States. So, have you traveled outside the US?
Oh, um, our high school marching band, we went to Japan. That was pretty cool. So I don't know. And I guess in the continental US you have these flag girls when you have marching bands. So the flag girls had to learn to dance the hula. So we would go on tour to these different shopping centers in Japan. I guess we went to uh, Tokyo and Narita, and I forget all of the different cities, but it was really neat. That's really the only other country I've been to. Well, I've been to Canada for work. We have a contractor who has a base a factory up there, but yeah, that's by the Niagara Falls area. So yeah, I've only really been, oh, I've been to Mexico. My husband's from Mexico, so before we got married, I went to his parents' house in Juarez, which is over there on the border across the Rio Grande from Fort Bliss, Texas. I don't know if you've been to Fort Bliss, but Juarez is that city that you look over the river and you see all those houses made of like whatever you can find around, like pieces of
Yeah.
wood. It's like, but my husband is from Juarez, and his everybody in his family has graduated from the University of Texas El Paso. That was his three sisters and his brother and him. And in that neighborhood, it was kind of unheard of to have five kids graduate with a bachelor's degree from college. So that was pretty cool, I guess. Um, yeah, those are the only three countries I think I've been to. Yes.
All right. Yeah, Japan's definitely one place I want to go visit one of these days. Haven't been there yet. All right, so we're gonna stick on music for a little bit here. What's the best concert that you've been to, or your favorite
Oh,
concert?
well, in college, we went to see Hall and Oates. Um, my roommate and her boyfriend and a couple other friends. We didn't have a car because no one drove a car from their house to for Hawaii to Washington State. So no one you'd have to buy a car, and so we all the bus system in Washington State was pretty good. So we took a bus from the college to wherever that concert was at, Hall and Oates. And yeah, I think that's my favorite concert. The opening band was um who sings my sunglass. I wear my sunglasses at night. Oh, Corey Hart.
Yeah,
He
Corey
had two
Hart.
songs. I wear my sunglasses at night and Never Surrender. So he was the opening band. Yeah. Gee, what year was that? That must have been 86 maybe? 85? Yeah, 86, I think. So I've been to other concerts. I've been to a John Denver is pretty good. And then my daughter wanted to see Hannah Montana when she was on her TV show, Miley Cyrus. And my husband won these tickets from, I guess, being the first person to enroll in Verizon Fios. What year was that? I don't know what year that was. Whatever year, she must have been 12. Hmm. I guess maybe 14 years ago. But yeah, we really enjoyed ourselves. We we got a balcony where you have one of those where you have a bathroom and then you share the area with, I don't know, 12 other couples. So it was really
Box
nice. You
seat.
weren't
Yeah.
sitting a box seat. I forget what you call them, but that was pretty cool too. And
Did Ray go?
no, we only had two tickets, so it was just me and Kathy, and we
Oh
took the
man, Ray would have
train.
had such a great time. I
And
could
who
not see
opened for
him at a
them?
Miley Cyrus concert.
The Jonas Brothers opened for her. So yeah, that was. But yeah, that was probably the last concert I've been to. Oh no, I went to the concert they had at APG. What they had? They had Boston and was Kansas. What I don't know if you were at that concert they had.
No, I didn't
I
make
don't
it,
know,
but I
10 years
heard
ago. Yeah,
Boston
it
was
was.
one of the bands I wanted to see.
Yeah, it was pretty good actually. But you have to sit in a field. I don't like sitting in a
Yeah,
field. I and then yeah, it was pretty crowded. I like it better when you're sitting in regular seats in a concert place. But anyway, it was good. Yeah, I haven't been to a lot of concerts.
it
But
sounds like you've been to enough. That's plenty. It's probably around the same number I've been to. Um, you at a concert you get to experience the music in a different way, and I think um some of those experiences can really open up um your artistic side, I would say, and bring out some new stuff for you. So
mhm,
um it's great to go to live music events, experience that atmosphere, get to feel the music and see the artist perform. That's always fun. All right, we're gonna ask a little more philosophical questions now. So you've written your autobiography. What would you title it?
I think I would title it "No Regrets."
That's good. That's good.
I think well, nobody's perfect, and as a lot of the national championship speakers base their speeches on their the mistakes they've made and how they've learned from it. And if you don't make mistakes, I think you don't become a better person. You learn and then you move on. You know what not to do. I think it makes you stronger also. No regrets. Yeah, that's how I want to because everybody's made mistakes, but I think I've learned from them and you become I think a better person.
Yeah, even the small stuff you can grow from. So I think that's a great title. I'm sure you have some great experiences to talk about in um to w- that other people would learn from there. All right. So what would you say is your proudest moment?
Hmm. Proudest moment.
Maybe something that you did learn from and had great success with, or maybe something that just like
Well, I guess
this
maybe
this is what I'm
seeing
hearing.
my two kids graduate from college because not everybody graduates from college, and um
It's a great feeling as a parent.
yeah, they're not in jail. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
um that they're I guess knowing that they're kind of doing what they want to do maybe, and knowing that you kind of maybe steered them in the right direction. Without my husband is really the disciplinarian in the house, and I'm really thankful for the way he's because I think if it was just me they wouldn't be as focused maybe. And so I think seeing them both graduate from college is what really made me happy. Was my proudest moment. Um, they're both doing well. My daughter's getting her master's now in, oh, what was it? Oh, from McDaniel College. I guess that's in Westminster or something. I forget where, but anyway. Oh, um, I don't know what I forgot what she's getting it in, but she has her bachelor's in computer science from College Park, University of Maryland. And then my son, he has a bachelor's in communication from Towson. And yeah, he seems to be liking his job also. His coworkers always give him things, so I think they kind of like him also. He got this, like they give them eggs from their chickens, and then they someone gave him a stuffed cow. I don't know why they gave him a stuffed animal, but yeah, I'm pretty happy they're both doing well. That's probably my proudest moment.
Awesome. You have a uh, parenting mistake that you made that you want to share and what you learned from it?
Hmm. Um. Um. Let's see. I guess my daughter had this mug that she really liked, and I was using it as a candle holder, and I kind of I threw it away, and I didn't tell her I was going to throw it away, and she was so pissed. And I was like, gee, I should have paid more attention and kept that mug. But anyway, we found a replacement mug on eBay, so we bought it, but it wasn't the same mug. And
Right.
I guess because she drank a coffee out of it while she was in the college dorm. It was a Hawaiian mug. But anyway, you have to kind of be more cognizant of your children's feelings, I guess. But
Yeah,
she was really upset for a little while, but she got over it. But
it's
yeah, you
it's
have
hard
to.
it's hard to recognize what other people are going to have sentimental value over. Um, and when it's your children, sometimes they might assume that you know, and yeah, that you can hurt their feelings pretty easy.
Mhm.
My daughter was uh, we're redoing her room, and
Oh.
and my wife had knocked a hat off one of the shelves and it was on the floor, and my daughter is just freaking out about it because this hat was a hat that her turkey pet we raised turkeys, okay,
Oh
and
wow.
one of them just was adorable and snuggly, and it became a pet. The other two we ate, but this one was it's named Godzilla, and it would get up on the swing and swing. It had personality. It loved like being like hugged. It wore sweaters, and it wore this hat, and it's a turkey hat. So I don't have very many sentimental things about animals, but I have something for that turkey. I have a footprint of that turkey. It's hanging on my wall, and you know that's how special this turkey was. But my wife didn't know that this hat was the turkey hat. Just knocked it over and didn't put it back, and my daughter's freaking out because she couldn't find it. So
Wow.
yeah, it's 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 hard to recognize that, and sometimes that's something that would be good as a parenting hack to check up on, um, and find out what is important, you know,
Mhm.
what does have value, so that you can recognize that and know. And that's just not sentimental things. It's also, what do they care for? What are their priorities? What do they value? It, it builds a lot. All
Mhm.
right, let's hit one more of these questions before we get into the Toastmaster stuff. Um, what is something that's on your bucket list? Something that you personally want to do. Uh, what is valuable to you?
Hmm. I want to see more national parks. I want to see the Grand Canyon. I want to see the Great Smoky Mountains. I want to hit as many more national parks, but I don't know. My family is just not into this hiking thing, or um, I guess maybe we would have to be sitting in a bus or something. But I think there's a lot of beautiful things to see just in this country. I know people like going to other countries like Paris and Venice and I guess that would be cool too, but I just don't like getting on an airplane at my age. Well, we have to go to Hawaii. We have to sit in an airplane for 12 hours or whatever ungodly thing
That
that
seems
is.
like enough,
So I really don't have a lot of time to, because I'm always wanting to go home to see my father. He's not getting any younger
right?
because I'm old. But anyway, he's older than I am. And so we spent a lot of our vacation going back there. But I would like to maybe visit a national park or two in a couple of years. I think that would be great. I want to go to the Smoky Mountains one next, maybe then maybe visit Dollywood on the way back. Well,
Oh
we'll
yeah,
see.
Dollywood's amazing. You
Oh,
gotta
you've
go.
been there?
Yeah.
Did you go to the Smoky Mountain Park before or no?
No, no, we didn't do the Smoky Mountains. We were only there for the day, so we could only
Oh,
fit so
okay.
much in.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. Definitely somewhere you should go. You know, Dolly Parton herself is an amazing woman. So, uh, yeah.
Oh, when I was in high school, she had a house like near our area, right on the beach. But I never did saw her. Some of my classmates said they would see her at the store sometimes because that was the area where I don't know if she still owns that house there, but
It's
maybe.
very cool. All right, so on the bucket list, whether before you retire or after, you want to see more of the country, see more of those parks, and the Grand Canyon's amazing. I definitely recommend that. And you can hit a lot of those if you're traveling to the West Coast to fly out to Hawaii. You know, take a nice road trip.
Mhm.
And you don't have to take the whole family. They don't want to
Oh.
go hiking. You don't have to take them. Learn
Yeah.
learn that the hard way. Don't drag the kids if they don't want to go.
Mhm.
Mine are, high school age now, so I have more opportunity to leave them at home.
Oh, okay.
And yours are out of college or getting master's degrees now, so you can certainly leave them at home. They have jobs they have to stay home for. All right, now let's segue over to the Toastmasters part of this interview, and we want to learn about Laurie's Toastmasters experience, um, and so we can get some nuggets about um, experiences and how new Toastmasters, old Toastmasters, former Toastmasters, what they can insight that they can get. So, and then guess as well. So first, do you remember what brought you to Toastmasters initially?
Well, I'd never heard of Toastmasters before until one of my coworkers had been to a meeting and he thought I would like the format and it would help me. I was doing some briefings regularly. So he suggested I attend the meeting with him and I really fell in love with the idea of Toastmasters and the way it helped me out with my public speaking. But I haven't done too many speeches recently. Um, I guess 5 years ago I did a speech for someone at his retirement lunch in front of 60 people. That's really the last public speech I've done. And and last night when I was at dinner, because we went out for my 30th wedding anniversary, we saw someone who was at that speech and he talked about how good that speech was. He
Nice.
was my former branch chief, and it was really cool. After I gave that speech, for like months after, a couple people, perfect strangers who I didn't even know would come up and tell me what a great speech that was. And that was pretty cool, actually. I'm like, I don't even know these people, but I guess they remember the speech because all of the other speakers at the luncheon, they were just giving out awards and it was really boring. But my speech kind of made everybody wake up and laugh, and I guess it was good.
No, I remember when you were practicing at the club, and it was hilarious. You were killing it. You had some great jokes about how you used to carry change around. Um,
Oh, no.
man, uh, the fact that I remember parts like that, it was a very memorable speech. And I would definitely think that people would be search or find you and wanting to congratulate you on doing such a great job with it.
Oh, thanks.
All right, so not to date you some more, but what year did you join Toastmasters? Because I know it was a few years before me.
Now, I joined the Fort Monmouth Club, which I'm still a member of since 1992. I am not one of the original founding members. We have one founding member, but I've been a member since 1992, which is 32 years this year.
Yeah, definitely a long time Toastmaster. She's got a lot of experience and lots of stuff that we can learn from. So let's get into a little bit of that. So you talked about what brought you to Toastmasters. What convinced you to join?
Oh,
What initially did you want to get out of it?
well, I wanted to improve the briefings I was doing in front of other people. So I was able to get positive feedback from the members about improving things like eye contact, how you should look at other people in the audience. Sometimes I would just look at one person, and that's something I worked on. And then I didn't know I needed to refrain from using filler words, the ahs and ums, and the try to use vocal variety, all of these things that we discuss as part of the Toastmasters program.
Yeah, in that first year, we cover a lot of fundamentals. Um, uh, Now it's pathways with level one, but it's the same as the manuals that we were doing before then when I first joined, and I'm sure the manuals when it was Able Toastmaster. I'm not sure how long that was ago, but the program's changed a few times. But those fundamentals, the first 10 or so speeches you give, you're working on those things: eye contact, vocal variety, how to say it, avoiding the ahs and ums. That's a constant. Um, even for somebody who's been in Toastmasters for 11 years, like me, still working on cleaning up a lot of those ahs and ums, especially with impromptu speeches, like like right now, how we're just kind of winging it a little bit, and uh, I'm gonna have some ahs and ums and just working on pausing, thinking things through, letting some of those thoughts marinate a little bit while working out what we're going to say eliminates those ahs and ums. All right. So now, can you tell us a lesson that you've learned through Toastmasters and how you apply it today?
Well, even though I haven't given a speech in a while, I've learned how you have to listen to your customers and coworkers daily at work. That's something our traveling Toastmaster gave us this extra thing to add to our agenda, which is the the listener role, which I think was great. So I think Toastmasters has made me become a better listener. When you evaluate a speech, you have to listen to every word that the speaker says and take notes while you're listening. And so it I really I think I've become a better listener. And then what else have I
Well,
learned?
let me while you're thinking, let me expand on that. Um, your listening skills is one of those things that's underrated in Toastmasters. You don't realize how much you're working on it until you encounter people that haven't been in Toastmasters and are trying to do an evaluation. And so recently I ran a workshop for my black belt class um, at karate, and I did public speaking class, and I taught them some speaking skills, and I had them speak. So they did 4 speeches, uh, the same topic 3 times, and then something brand new at the end. And then they were just working on those skills and applying those skills. In every class, I would evaluate. I would fill out an evaluation form and then give them that feedback for 8 to 10 speeches. I would do that every class.
Mm.
The last class, I gave a speech and asked them to evaluate me. And I think that they were so enthralled and excited, and just because the class was over after that, that um, they didn't have anything really to write down. They rated me. They marked off the check marks and the bubbles, but I only got a few comments compared to how many comments I was giving them. I was just like, I can listen to 8 speeches and give 2 to 3 positive points and 1 to 2 points of feedback, but they were rookies at this, and they gave me 1 each, maybe. It's like, so it's a skill that we don't realize we're working on as much as we do. Active listening and giving evaluations, giving feedback to people. It's a big part of Toastmasters. You don't know that going in, but you certainly know that after 4 or 5 years and you've been doing your own evaluations. All right, so what's that other lesson that you learned, Laurie?
Oh, I think it's also improved my writing that you have to write speeches. Like I would say you have to do a beginning, intro, the body and the conclusion, and how you should summarize your speech and your body and your conclusion. And you would hit on main points and try to transition smoothly to the next main point and then conclude it and wrap it up into a nice package, like a well-written speech. So I I monitor, I guess, government contracts, and I have to write down what happens. And my program manager, who oversees around 200 people, recently praised one of my reports, saying in one of his emails to all everybody in office, saying it was one of the best written reports he's read in a while, and that was very nice. So I think it being in Toastmasters, it has helped me with my writing skills to smoothly transition and get my thoughts down. So I think besides listening, it helps also with the writing. The writing is also part of communication.
Definitely, definitely. And we're both engineers, so we write technical stuff, and that gets really boring real fast. And managers don't want the technical stuff; they want a story to And so Toastmasters, writing those speeches and working on telling stories in our speeches so we can be more convincing or persuasive, um, to connect with the audience easier. That helps those technical presentations and technical writings, reports and stuff. Um, and even if it's you're not telling like a fun story in your report, you're turning the information into a story so that
Mhm.
it's easier for the audience to follow along and the managers to buy into. Yeah, definitely. Speech writing is something that has helped me a lot as well. And I'm not going to let you get away with it again because Laurie just keeps on saying that she hasn't given a speech in a while. She just gave one like a couple weeks ago, a humorous speech about onomatopoeia and those fun, vivid sound words. It was really great. All right, so Laurie, what do you feel you accomplished in Toastmasters that has pushed your career forward? It's kind of a weird question, but what has where's your career um, gained more momentum or success? Where have you seen growth because of something that you accomplished in Toastmasters?
Well, I have 37 years with the government. I'm going to go to 40. And I think I'm kind of at the tail end. But as I said before, um, Toastmasters has helped with the listening skills and the writing skills as well as the speaking. Um, I think I've kind of already touched on those things already.
All right, well we
I,
can move on. No,
yeah.
so why do you still do Toastmasters? What keeps you in it? You've accomplished so much. You've been in it for 32 years. You've um you've certainly gained new skills even in the 11 years that I've known you, 12 years. I can't do math anymore. 12 years that I've known you, I've seen huge growth in your speaking skills. So
Oh,
tell us why you still do Toastmasters.
oh, I guess I like hanging out with my friends.
Yes. Yes.
Because
Definitely.
I like when you guys come over to my house when we have our barbecue and our holiday party. I think James likes that too. I think
Don't
that's
let the
really
cat out of the bag.
one of the main reasons why he. No, I don't know. But anyway, I guess because I've been doing it for so long, I can't imagine not doing it. You know, when you've been doing something for so long, it's like, why are we going to stop now? Since I've been enjoying it for 32 years, well, let's just enjoy it for another 32 years. Why not? Um, Gee, I'm going to be pretty old by then, but anyway. You know.
We'll all be
Yeah,
pretty old by then.
we're all great friends and we help each other out, I guess, in times of need and yeah, why would I stop?
Yeah, we certainly made some good friends along the way. That's for sure. And she wouldn't let us all know that she enjoys having us over. She always phrasing it that she's got to kick us out or oh man, we have fun. All right. I think that wraps us up. That we're at the end here. We got some great points from Laurie about things that she's lessons she's learned with active listening and speech writing, things that have taken her career forward. And we understand that sometimes things become habit, but we also in Toastmasters we make great friends and we help each other out. And we're in it to help each other, and that's part of the club mission statement. Is the members are there to help each other grow in leadership and communication skills. So I wanted to thank Laurie for coming on the podcast today, Evolving in Toastmasters. Um, before we jet out of here, is there any last thoughts that you want to share, Laurie?
Oh, I can't think of anything else. I've enjoyed the podcast, and I really enjoy the club, and yeah, let's see how the next 32 years go.
Great. I'm looking forward to being in the club with you and keep that Fort
Oh,
Knowledge Club
thanks.
running.
Yeah.
Even if we have to practice somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Laurie, for coming on the podcast. And thank you, listeners. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We'll be on YouTube. And also, you can check out the Journey to You webpage and the blog there. So, uh, again, Laurie, one more time, thank you very much. And everybody, you have a good night. Take care, Laurie.
Bye, bye, Nick. Bye, everybody. Thanks.